In a world that constantly demands your opinion, your reaction, your voice, choosing silence can feel unnatural, even weak. But silence, when used with intention, is not weakness. It's restraint. It's emotional maturity. It's power. The truth is, what you don't say often speaks louder than what you do. And the ability to stay silent, not as avoidance, but as a form of control, is one of the most underestimated skills you can develop. In this video, you'll learn 9 specific situations where you should always choose silence. Moments where your power comes not from speaking, but from holding back. Let's begin. 1. When you're angry or triggered. Anger clouds judgment. In fact, it neurologically shuts down the rational part of your brain, the prefrontal cortex, and activates the amygdala, the emotional center. That's why people say things in anger they regret, because it wasn't them speaking, it was their nervous system in fight mode. Silence during anger is like emotional first aid. It gives your mind space to recalibrate. It protects your relationships from words you can't take back. And more than anything, it keeps you in control when your emotions are trying to take the wheel. Speak later, when your calm is louder than your frustration. 2. When you're being provoked. Not every comment deserves a response. Some people don't want a conversation. They want chaos. They poke, insult, or push buttons to get a reaction out of you. Because when you react, they've won. They've pulled you into their level. Silence isn't about ignoring them. It's about disarming them. Because when you don't react, they lose control. They're left swinging at shadows. And that kind of self-possession, that unnerves people more than shouting ever could. Your silence says, "You don't control my peace." I do. 3. When you're winning. Not every success needs to be announced. In fact, the most powerful moves are made without an audience. When you're leveling up, improving, growing, building something real, your silence is protection. It protects your focus. It protects your energy. It protects your progress from unwanted opinions, jealousy, or sabotage. Let your results speak. You don't need to narrate every step. There's a reason why quiet people often get the furthest. They're too focused on building to be broadcasting. Operate in silence. Let your success be the only thing they hear. 4. When you're disrespected publicly. Nothing triggers the ego faster than public disrespect, but your real power is revealed not in how loud you clap back, but in how still you remain. When someone tries to embarrass or disrespect you in front of others, they're expecting a reaction. They want heat, drama, proof they can shake you. But silence in that moment? It's not weakness, it's warning. It says, "I could react, but I won't." Because you don't decide how I move. The person who remains calm under public pressure earns quiet respect from everyone watching. Silence in public conflict is a power move. Use it wisely. 5. When someone else is venting emotionally. Sometimes the most powerful thing you can do is listen. When someone's venting, especially someone you care about, your instinct may be to fix it, to jump in, to offer advice. But often, they're not looking for solutions. They're looking to feel heard. And silence here isn't passive, it's presence. It says, "I'm here. I hear you. I'm not rushing you through this." This kind of silence builds trust. It makes you someone people feel safe around. And in a world full of noise, that safety is rare and deeply valuable. 6. When you don't know what you're talking about. Silence here is humility, and humility builds credibility. So many people feel pressure to appear knowledgeable in every situation. But pretending to know something you don't only creates shallow authority. When you're silent, or better yet, when you say, "I'm not sure, but I'd like to learn," you gain respect. Silence becomes a strength when it reflects self-awareness. Speak when it adds value. Stay quiet when it doesn't. That's how people come to trust your voice when you finally use it. 7. When someone tries to manipulate you. Manipulators thrive on engagement. They use guilt, deflection, or emotional overwhelm to force you into defending yourself. But when you respond with silence, you disrupt their rhythm. They can't latch onto your words. They can't twist your intent. They're left spinning in their own tactic, with no fuel from you. Silence here is awareness. It says, I see what you're doing. I just won't play your game. That's how you protect your peace and your power. 8. When you're negotiating or setting boundaries, one of the most powerful tools in any negotiation is the pause. You say your boundary, you make your ask. Then, you go silent. Most people get uncomfortable and start over-explaining, softening, or backtracking. But the pause? It creates tension. It forces clarity. It often earns respect. Silence says, I've said what I needed to say. I don't need to sell it to you. And that confidence, that non-verbal certainty, often does more than any words ever could. 9. When you're healing, evolving, or changing directions, you don't need to explain your growth to people who are committed to misunderstanding you. Sometimes your silence is sacred. It's your cocoon, the space where old versions of you dissolve so something stronger can emerge. People may ask what happened, why you pulled back, why you're different. Let them. Healing doesn't need an audience. Evolution doesn't need validation. Your silence is proof you're doing the inner work, not performing it. Protect it. The ability to stay silent when you could react, explain, or defend is emotional control. It's strength in restraint. Not everything deserves your energy. Not every moment needs your voice. And sometimes saying nothing says everything. If this video helped you shift perspective, check out our long-form videos on self-discipline and inner power. And remember, your silence is a tool. Master it.